What if I told you the Florida House passed what could be the largest tax cut in state history, and it could completely reshape how your local government is funded? This is a recap of Week 6 of the 2026 legislative session. And here are 5 decisions that could directly impact your wallet as a taxpayer. Stay to the end because number 5 affects your utility bills in one of the fastest growing industries in the state of Florida. I'm Florida's 17th Lieutenant Governor Jeff Kottkamp, and I'm President and CEO of Florida TaxWatch, Florida's leading government watchdog and public policy think tank. Last week, the Florida House of Representatives approved a proposed constitutional amendment that would eliminate all non-school property taxes on homestead properties. Originally, this was a 10-year phase-out. It was amended on the floor for an immediate repeal. If it makes its way to the ballot and approved by the voters in November, taxpayers would save $14.7 billion, which is the largest tax cut in the history of Florida. But here's the catch. Local governments would lose that same $14.7 billion. And Florida TaxWatch has raised concerns about taxpayer equity. This proposal would likely increase the tax shift from homestead properties to renters, businesses, and first-time homebuyers, a shift that already exists in our system. The Senate has not filed its own property tax proposal yet, and its position in the House remains unclear. The House passed its proposed $113.6 billion state budget. This is a 1.1% reduction from current total spending, but a 2.7% increase in general revenue spending. The Senate Appropriations Committee adopted 181 amendments, nearly all transferring funding to add additional member projects. Major negotiations are still ahead for the House and Senate, including negotiations for funding for public education, state employee pay raises, Everglades restoration, and water quality. The full House passed HB 103, which will repeal local business taxes. That's about $200 million in annual tax relief. This measure has been moving steadily and remains one to watch. Several significant policy bills advanced last week. HB 5501, which would redirect $60 million in documentary stamp taxes to fund Florida rail enterprise projects. Both chambers agreed to recreate the Emergency Preparedness and Response Fund. HB 1035 promotes green infrastructure and nature-based resiliency solutions, an approach supported by Florida TaxWatch research. And here's the one to watch closely. Senate Bill 484 begins regulating the rapidly expanding data center industry. These facilities demand enormous amounts of electricity. The bill aims to shield residents and businesses from being forced to absorb some of those high utility costs. As Florida attracts more technology infrastructure, how those costs are distributed matters. 3 weeks remain in the 2026 legislative session, and decisions made now will shape Florida's fiscal future for years to come. Budget negotiations continue behind the scenes, with the odds of a completely smooth and drama-free finish uncertain, but we remain optimistic. For continued updates and independent analysis on these taxpayer issues, visit our legislative update page at floridataxwatch.org, and be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletters. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jeff Kottkamp, and I'll see you next week for another legislative recap.